Hello everybody, welcome back. So, exciting times. We've seen a pump signal now on Bitcoin and on the total too, so the total market cap. So this complements the idea of both Bitcoin and altcoins all moving up together, which is nice. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, it's down at the moment. Yes. This is a daily pump signal. So let's have a look at Bitcoin's one. Oh, this is the total too, sorry. So we've got the GQ span closed above the cloud yesterday. We've got price action above the cloud, leading portion of the cloud is green, and then down here is a blue crossing the red. Conversion baseline cross, basically. Same deal over here for the old Bitcoiner. We've got GQ span outside of the cloud closed last night. We've got price action above the cloud, GQ span crossing positive, and then finally you've got a leading portion of the cloud, which is green. So this is a pump signal now. So the problem with the pump signal, if you're going to find a problem with it, I mean, the problem will be when and where does it pump from? It's baked in. It's ready to pump at this stage now. But is it only fair for us to pull back into a moving average or some kind of support before it pumps, or does it just pump from here? That's the question. So yesterday we closed above the 200 simple moving average. That's the last support, last resistance for Bitcoin here. One that is most likely to break because we've tapped it so many times. Doesn't always have to work that way, but chances are that it will. We've also got a golden cross that has yet to be retested down here at 60,300 and the simple moving average 59,800. So if it were to do that, if it were to pull back into these areas, it would be a buy the dip, with a V-shaped recovery most likely to kick in, especially with that pump signal that we've seen. Same thing really applies to the total too. And lots of other altcoins that we looked at last night. Last night was the Patreon live stream, and most altcoins have the same setup, some better than others. The ones with these daily pump signals, which are now baked in since this morning, are obviously going to be better, but for the most part, altcoins look like this on a 4-hourly. Golden cross on simples and exponentials, and with that comes a trend that likes to retest these areas at some point, and that will give you a 6.5% to maybe a 5% pullback of the old total too. Now that doesn't have to happen today, it doesn't have to happen at all, but it's most likely going to happen at some point, just like death crosses get retested and rejected. Death cross, retest, rejection. This is the nature of the game really. The total 2 is not the greatest example, I suppose, but at least we have several examples. So here we go, down, retest, retest, retest. So there's plenty of examples, I suppose, even on the total 2, which is one of the worst charts to look at for this. I'm just trying to point out to you that there's a golden cross on a 4-hourly, aka short-term time frame trend that likes to be retested, and we've got a pump signal on a daily, which again likes to pump as a result of that pump signal. The question is where. So the safety trade would be to wait for either the 50 exponential or the 200 exponential, or even simple, depending on your risk tolerance, because this is all it's about really. How bullish are you? Do you not want to miss out? You buy the first moving averages of any significance. That could even be the total, not the total 2, the 21 exponential or the 20 simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the supports. Same thing with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is basically, what's going on with the old Bollingers? So Bitcoin has already approached the first support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of them being a realistic support. But what I'd say is, because the daily has got the pump signal, might as well focus on the daily supports. So if that's the case, we're talking 10 exponential here really, for a decent pullback. And again, it's not massive, is it? 62,600, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. If we lose these areas, if you lose this area, then actually you'll be talking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, only joking, but you know what I mean. The invalidation of immediate continuation is less likely once closing below that area. Ethereum doing the same thing to an extent, or the 4-hourly at least anyway, providing the same sort of golden cross setup with supports that exist at 1, 2, 3, 4, the lowest area being 2,477, but the daily doesn't have the pump signal, so Ethereum's still a bit of a lagger here. It's done pretty well in all fairness since hitting that major support from the bottom to the top, 25%. These are the sort of figures that I was giving you a couple of weeks ago when I was saying Bitcoin's likely to have a bounce and a 26% bounce, and so far we're at a 24%, not 23%, with a max of about 30. So, the majority of the move has been done that we predicted on the channel, at least anyway. And as a result of that, we can either continue straight up to 68, or we could pull back into perhaps maybe just below 60. Either way is good, because again, most entry points, if anywhere, would have been taken around here, and then altcoins have only recently been a talking point, I suppose, since I was saying that the dominance chart is likely to get rejection around here, which just about a week ago, really. So, and it's still rejecting at the moment. But if we're going to bounce from here, it's the same thing applies. You're going to bounce from around these areas. That's fair game. We did that before. You're going to reject from up here. That's also fair game. It's actually more likely to reject from there. 65% more likely to be precise. We've managed to reclaim a lot of areas of the 4 hourly at this stage now, but again, see the rejection on the center of that Bollinger Band, or the 21 exponential, serving the same purpose really. 65% more likely to remain in this portion of the band which you are in and being rejected from. 65% more likely to remain in this portion of the band which you're in and probably get rejected from. So still favour altcoins in all fairness. Like I was saying yesterday, it's a buy the dip on the altcoins as far as I'm concerned. The dip yet to be seen in its full glory. This could be it. You know, it depends how bullish the market is. But personally, it's always better to wait if you're not in a position already and you're itching to get in. It's always better to wait because trends like to get confirmed. The confirmation of a trend is the ideal entry point. And for me, it would be between here and here. And if this fails from this level, it's invalidation of the trend. So we just have to sit back and see how deep it goes after that. But for the moment, odds are in favour of the bulls. And with that, we should remain bullish. But that doesn't mean FOMO or go straight in. Again, it's all your risk tolerance, really. Risk tolerance. If you're happy to buy higher, then these areas, 1 is your first area. 2, 3, 4. That's it. Nothing much more to say here. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. If you want to join the Patreon, the link's in the description. Alternatively, just have a nice day and take it easy.